The US has been acting as the world police for way too long. It demands that you must fall in line or else it will cut you off the global economy. But it seems that the US has nothing left to give the world except its sermons. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Piyush, and in this video I will tell you how the mighty US has fallen under Biden's reign. Let's begin. The US is going through an unprecedented crisis. There is a shortage of almost everything: oil and gas, food, and even vaccines. Yes, the only thing it still has in plenty is sermons. In fact, the US is now warning that it may not even have enough funding to purchase a fourth vaccination dose for every American. According to a Washington Post report, the US does have enough COVID-19 doses for citizens aged between 65 years and the initially recommended regime for kids under 5 years of age. However, officials say they cannot place advanced orders for additional vaccine doses for those in other age groups unless lawmakers pass a stalled $15 billion funding package. White House COVID response coordinator Jeff Zients said, "Right now we don't have enough money for fourth doses if they are called for." Zients added, "We don't have the funding if we were to need a variant-specific vaccine in the future. A fourth dose isn't needed right now." However, officials fear that they might not be able to handle an emergency situation if COVID-19 cases go up suddenly. Officials feel that vaccine manufacturers will prioritize orders placed by other countries, and Americans in need of vaccines might be left abandoned. Meanwhile, gasoline prices are simply out of control in the US now. The national average for unleaded gasoline was $4.23 per gallon on Thursday. This is only 10 cents below the record high touched recently. Summers are expected to be worse. In the peak driving season, gasoline prices in the US could surpass $5 and even hit a $6 a gallon level. After the decision to stop importing Russian oil, the US economy is now battling a severe rise in pump prices and overall inflation. On Twitter, you can actually see the instances of unprecedented fueling limits and rationing. What is more important than gasoline for human survival? Food. Yes, the sufficiency of food has always been an element of national power. Yet, the US president has casually warned American citizens about a possible food shortage crisis. He recently made an unexpected remark that reeked of indifference and incompetence. He said, "With regards to food shortage, it's gonna be real. The price of sanctions is not just imposed on Russia." The president further added, "It is imposed upon awful lot of countries as well, including European countries and our country as well." There was a time when the US was actually respected as an invincible power. For the developing world, the US was a model to follow. But today, we see American media preparing reports like inflation stings most if you earn less than $300K. Here's how to deal. Americans are actually advised to turn to lentils, take the bus, and avoid buying in bulk. So the US no longer seems like a huge, prosperous nation. And therefore, we don't wonder if the US is failing in its foreign policy. It failed in Afghanistan, it failed to avert the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and it also failed to rally the world against Russia. The US really has nothing left to give to the world except its useless sermons.